Welcome to worship. Camp Meeting Sunday. Without the sawdust and without the flies, but Camp Meeting Sunday nonetheless. Back in 2016, we as a congregation were celebrating our 190th anniversary. And so during a whole series of Sundays that year, I wanted for us to explore together our heritage, our spiritual family tree, and we gave one Sunday to that series to camp meetings. Camp Meeting Sunday, because that's part of our heritage. As American United Methodists, camp meeting is part of where we come from. And folks liked it and said, they want to sing those hymns more often, and not just, anniversary years. So we've made that something of a tradition. This will be our fourth year where we've had a Sunday that we're calling Camp Meeting Sunday, and arranging the service a little differently, singing some of those old, what a lot of us would know as the old Cokesbury hymnal songs that come out of that camp meeting era. So that's this Sunday, but this Sunday, this Camp Meeting Sunday, is taking place within this larger context. And that is this month and concluding next week, we are focusing on a theme that I'm calling renewing our vows. So Sunday by Sunday, I've been preaching our way through the questions that we ask when someone joins this church, the vows we take as members. The third of those questions says, will you, for as long as you're a member of this church, supported by your prayers, your presence, your gifts, your service, and your witness? So 2 weeks ago we talked about our prayers. Last week we talked about our presence, our gifts, and our service. This week we want to talk about our witness. Camp Meeting Sunday is a good time to do that. We want to talk about our witness. But I also want to say to you this, and this all goes together, and I hope that over the course of this hour of worship it will come together for us. In our Christian life, there are the parts we can do, and we are obliged. But then there are the parts God can do, and only God can do. And we can't do His part, and He won't do our part. So we need to be clear as followers of Christ what those roles are. Something like renewing our vows, that's our part. That's something we can do, to look again at our affirmations and our commitments and renew those. That's something we can do. On the other hand, there is this thing called revival. Revival is very much a part of the spirit of the camp meetings. And revival is not something we can do. Revival is something we can only pray for and open ourselves up for. But only God can do that. Only God can do revival. I expect a number of us here could bear witness and say, I have had some time in my life where I've had personal revival. But that's part of my experience. I don't know how many of us here could say, I've been part of a group that's experienced revival. I've seen revival sweep over a community of people. Whether it's personal or whether it's communal, it takes receptiveness, it takes readiness, it takes a brokenness, it takes a hunger for God, it takes a repentance. Prayer for revival, that's the happy request of our first hymn this morning. And that's the spirit of the camp meeting, to open ourselves up for the revival that only God can give. Let that be the attitude of our hearts, the posture of our spirits when we sing, Revive Us Again. Let's sing together.